Today here on Rumblestrip.NET and 10-minute test drive, we have the Fiat 500 Abarth in for review, and it's the convertible version. But really, at the end of the day, we only have one question for this vehicle. Does it obey the first rule of Italian driving? Yourself, what is the first rule of Italian driving? Oh, come on. You don't have to be a hardcore gearhead or petrol head to know the great 1976 classic Gumball Rally where the Raul Julia played the legendary Italian racing driver Franco. Because remember, rather than me do it, let's let Franco tell you.
And now, my friend, the first rule of Italian driving. What's behind me is not important.
So, yes, what's behind you is not important. That is the rule of Italian driving. And if you've ever been to Italy, you know that it's eyes forward. What's back there, you just make your own way. And with the Fiat 500 Abarth, you definitely see why this is a popular vehicle in Europe. It's very small. You can place it just about anywhere. And we're tooling around in the city a little bit today, even though it's on a Sunday and there's not a lot going on down here today, just for general principle kind of thing too. But we're having some fun banging around here in the city and checking out some things. And I think the Fiat 500 Abarth is kind of a perfect vehicle for it. It's fun to drive. It's small. It also makes a great noise. This has been I would say it's been a fun car to drive and an enjoyable car to drive. Best car ever, no. But it certainly is a great little car, and you can see why for years people in Europe talked about it before we got here in America. Now this is the convertible version, and it has one major problem. It's a $4,000 option that by the time you option it up, as we have it here, the sticker price gets to be $29,645. Now, 30 grand for this vehicle. Sorry. 24,000, 25,000 in a non-convertible, pushing it, but could deal with it at that point. Like I said, it makes a good noise. It's Italian. It's darty. Practical, especially in convertible version, not so much. There is a back seat, and it is slightly more functional than the back seat in a Porsche 911, in that, yes, you could sit back there, but it's really better served as a package shelf. The trunk, theoretically it has one, and we'll roll in the picture here to show you that theoretically it does have one. How much you're going to get in there? Maybe 2 grocery bags, not much more than that. This is a car of summer, really. Well, you could drive it all year round, and in fact, this week has been pretty interesting that we've had it, because we've had a few days where, hey, it's been great, and we actually put the top down because it was 50 degrees or close enough to 50 degrees. Might as well, right? And it was fine. Of course, then the day after we had 2 days in a row at 50 degrees, we had 7 inches of snow. Of course, it's Michigan in March. Why wouldn't we? So how did it handle the snow? Fine. It's a little front-wheel drive car, and it's pretty manageable, and yeah, had no worries with it. But the question is who is this car for? Is it a gearhead car? Well, I don't know about that. In hardtop, not convertible form? Yeah, maybe. But really at $30,000, that's the major sticking point. I don't want to harp on that, but you sort of have to because it is a lot of money. Inside, it's a pretty solid car. There's nice materials. I mean, yes, some of the materials are in here are what you expect in a $16,000-$17,000 car, which is of course a base 500. But they're not objectionable at this price level. The fabric on the seats is nice. These are heated seats, which has been, of course, very nice in these cold days. Temperature, it's got auto temperature on it, which, of course, what doesn't these days? Worked fine. Like I said, very few complaints about this. Motor is a 1.4 liter turbo 4-cylinder, 160 horsepower, 170 foot-pounds of torque. Rocket ship? No. Fun, enjoyable? Absolutely. And like we said, this is supposed to be a fun car. Mileage on this thing, rated at 28 city, 34 highway. We haven't paid attention to the mileage, to be honest with you. This is just a vehicle we never really intended to try to drive for fuel economy. So I can't say, but based on how many miles we've driven, where the fuel gauge is at this point, we'd say that's probably pretty close in some very mixed driving that we've done. Stereo in here is actually surprisingly good. With Fiat and Chrysler stereos, sometimes you get good ones, sometimes you don't. This one has a pretty solid sound system in it. So do you need to upgrade? I think you'll be fine with what's in here unless you're really picky. So at the end of the day, Fiat 500 Abarth Convertible. Fun car. I can see where a lot of people would like this until you get to have to pay for it. And that is the underlying theme of this thing. It's fun. You drop the top. What's behind you doesn't matter. Of course, half of it is because you can't really see what's behind you the way the top folds. But yeah, good car. We've enjoyed our week in it. Should you pick one up? That's going to be a tough call, especially when you consider that, you can't get a convertible in it. Fiesta ST, Focus ST, certainly going to offer more value for money. Of course, there's, and a load of other hot hatchbacks in there too. You can get a GTI, which is obviously a much larger car, just like the Focus is a much larger car than this. So you got to look at it. What do you want? Style? Yes, this has got it. Performance? Yes. As good as anyone else handling it? No, but it's all right. We like it.